Hey guys, so today I want to talk about something that's kind of concerning, a thing that I came across recently in relation to the internet and the non-reality, is the strange epiphenomena of robot Instagram influencers. And I know I'm a bit late to the trending topic that this was a couple of years ago, but I want to go over the conclusive generalizations that can be made from what has been discovered from this, because they are essentially quite concerning and a social experiment gone extremely well. An experiment orchestrated by multiple different AI companies and organisations that has so far been very successful towards the young demographic in the attempt to get real people, young teenagers and children, to develop a deceptive emotional connection with AI robots. And there are many different reasons why this has been done. The most obvious is to sell young kids consumerist product, to make consumerism a more fluid process from the eyes of manufacturers and big business, but the other reasons are more sly and conspicuous and insidious, and have only started to appear as evident through the success of winning affection within the desired demographic. This involves advocating for a specific type of political activism, and of course acting as a role model by answering questions from its human fans on Snapchat through a series called Get Real with Michaela, which is one of the bigger or the biggest AI Instagram influencers, who is the most popular. Conclusively, what can be said about this is that this is one of the most intellectually and emotionally degrading and depraved paradoxical realities I've seen to be targeted against the younger generation. That through analytics and psychological data that is harvested by big companies, has essentially used the characteristics and generalizations of a particular demographic that can be understood through their personality to fundamentally deceive and coerce the emotions of young impressionable minds, for the sake of money, consumerism, and whatever else they wish to do to sway collective emotions, through a non-reality in the future or now. But this has only become possible by the mere fact that the relational function has become equally moulded within the fabric of the internet and the physical world, where AI, through these illusional bodies of artificial intelligence, can be used fundamentally as a tool for manipulation. It may not be of such obvious character or truth as of right now, but from the response given by the young collective demographic, this is the point we have reached with such technology. It is not exactly a dehumanization, but what you could call a rehumanization. That with the use of AI with regards to impressionable young minds, we have found a way to expand consciousness, to expand conscious relational emotional capacity within the brain by using technological illusion. That within a not yet fully developed brain, we can essentially, or maybe even by illusional substantial replacement, reconstruct what something meaningful and emotional can be or is. And this is beyond materialism. Hinduism talks about the seven veils, or the veil of Maya. But this is a veil which goes much deeper than the material world, and the more we actualize AI of this kind, we mentally and physically further this technocratic ambition, which is perpetuated by the few, to cement ourselves not only to the material world, but also to the digital world, which plays the game of matter exclusively within the mind and is much deeper in illusion. And such observation gives further deep understanding to the Gnostic demiurge which created the world, or from their understanding, that the demiurge of the world wanted to cement man into matter and to imprison him. But this really is deeper than matter, for it is illusion of matter itself in the mind, which is the digital understanding. So in this case it becomes a twofold veil of illusion, which starts as the digital mental relation to matter in the mind, then the physical relation to matter with the body. Archetypically, the puppeteers who can actualize this ability through AI and manifest it through the digital should fundamentally obviously not be trusted, for they will act as the Pied Pipers for whatever agenda or ideology they wish within whatever organisation it may be. Through German myth, for example, the Pied Piper plays his tune to drive the rats out of Hamelin in order to get rid of the epidemic. And this kind of shows in metaphor the benefits of AI or of the internet to an extent. But in the myth, if the citizens don't pay for his magical trade, which he has brang about and offered, then he will retaliate and do the same to the children, as he did with the rats, by playing his magical instrument, which for them would be illusional enticement. And this is what such a thing can become, illusional emotional enticement, driving the children away from the reality and into the destination which the Pied Piper wants them to go. Because it sounds fantastic, it's enticing. And I'm fundamentally saying this on the basis of what can be done from what has been discovered from the emotional bondage developed between AI and young impressionable minds. That at some point for younger people, you won't need humans to be role models or real people to be inspirational figures. But in replacement, a digital propaganda tool made by an organisation fed through the digital sphere, if you will. It is pretty worrying when you look at the devotional reactions made towards AI Instagram influencers, when you look at the comments and from that knowing the ability of what can be built up from that in relation to influencing people towards a particular ideology, mindset or perspective of the world. It is not genuine, it is designed to be aesthetically pleasing for a demographic. To think of it as genuine by enticing the psychology, it is a weird form of grooming, for these organisations are testing the waters with what they can do with AI. How they can persuade, entice and influence young people who, let's remember, already by preconditioning and with the use of powerful AI that we have now, have developed a state of mind where they can emotionally open when it comes to associating and connecting with the internet and artificial intelligence, which is created by organisations that can propose whatever they wish to your children because they have the psychological analytical architecture necessary to do so. And the robot obviously doesn't have a choice because it is just a mannequin for propaganda. And what can be done with that power through the internet is essentially very insane. So I guess this is a thought to think about and essentially look out for, because I do think there will be a definite point in time when illusional, man-made, falsely charismatic AI will be used for multiple propaganda purposes to deceive and manipulate impressionable minds of the younger generation for external, worldwide purposes. Thanks for watching. And tell me what you think in the comments. Cheers.